Hello, hello, hello. This is eBlack with eBlack TV, back with another video. We are here, and I'm proud to say I'm returning back with my returning guest. I'm sorry. I'm acting like an amateur.
No,
Uh, I'm back. I'm back with again with my returning guest, the McNeils, Pam, Peter. They are here today to talk about their movie that is newly released on Amazon called Urge. Well, we'll discuss it, get into some juicy, shocking details. So if you like this, what you're seeing, please hit the like button. Also, hit the subscribe button. If you didn't know already, we have a membership on this channel. So if you want to become part of the Black Pride membership, you can do
ah,
so. Yeah, we call ourselves the Black Pride. I'm black. I try. So, but
I
anyway,
like that sound effect.
what is going on? Welcome back, you guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you for having us back.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves and your writing, and if you haven't already seen the previous interview, so uh, they tell us all about their journey. So I don't want to get too bogged down in the backstory, but I do want people to understand that your how you got to this point.
Okay, all right. My name is Peter McNeil. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I'm married to my beautiful wife there, Pamela McNeil, for 24 years. We have three young adults, Justin, John, and Milan, and now we reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are filmmakers. Our first feature film is called Urge, that we filmed in 2020. Yeah, 20, no, 20, yeah. Was it 2020?
2021.
2021. And now we self we self distributed it in January, and now it's live on Amazon Prime. And we're extremely happy and proud of our accomplishments. And that's that.
And
Go
Pam,
ahead.
Pam, why don't you tell us about how easy it was to go through this process?
Um, Let me think about, was it easy? It required a lot of prayer and faith, in recognizing that we were operating in our gifts. Peter is a gifted and talented writer naturally. He wrote me a poem when we first met, about the night we met, and I saw his talent then. And I, on the other hand, am a storyteller as well, English major, and I have edited books. And so it was just the perfect marriage for us to get into storytelling, and my editing the story and listening to his ideas, and us just bouncing off each other. And again, it was a walk of faith, and we just thank God that we are now looking at a finished product, a movie.
Yes,
So yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm very proud to. When you guys first talked about it, you guys were I don't want to. I guess is it piloting what they call it when you're pre-releasing or
Premiering.
Well,
premiering?
premiering, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys were premiering, you guys were
Yeah.
traveling across the country,
hmm
getting feedback on it. You got great
Mhm.
feedback. And I just remember that interview. And then next thing you know, I seen on my Instagram story, Peter said, yeah, it's out. It's out. You can watch it. And, that was
Yeah.
the first thing I did. I
Mhm.
picked it up, and then I knew I was going to be going out of town. So I was like, I didn't want no kids in my way. I didn't want my wife bugging me for popcorn. I wanted to
Yeah.
focus. So I ended up focusing on it, taking some good notes. And, I'm just really happy that you guys have got to this point. I'm
Yes.
really am. That's just no lie. I'm like really happy to see people, following their dreams and doing their passions, and getting to the point to where guys are at right now. So
Yeah.
kudos to you guys.
And
Thank
and
you.
thank you for watching the film. Okay,
Hmm.
and having us back to talk about it.
Yes,
That means a lot. That really
it
means a
does.
lot. Because right now we're just because we have the film on the streaming platform, which is Prime Video, it doesn't stop. Now we're in the marketing and promoting stage, and that requires a
Yes.
lot of energy, just as much as we put into the film itself. So
Mhm.
that's what me and my wife. are doing now, just being strategic with our marketing and get it out there to the masses. So thank you for allowing us to be on your platform to do that.
Okay, cool. So, so why don't we talk about the movie? That's
Hmm.
once again, like I said, we've talked about it on a previous time, but for this audience, let's talk about the movie. Let's give us a synopsis of what the movie's about.
Okay. Urge, that's the title of the movie. It's pretty much about a husband in denial of a porn addiction. And it's really causing friction and kind of like damaging his relationship with his wife. They newlyweds. The character, James Richards, is played by Maurice P. Carey. Um, and the actress, um, Ashley Forestier, she plays Kadena Richards, her his wife, and they newlyweds. They love each other, but she's seeing now some stuff she never thought that was going to be in coming into their household, being that
Hmm.
they married and now she's seeing the after effects of like, wow, this guy is he really has some type of a problem,
Yeah,
that he's
Mhm.
dealing with. He's low key dealing with, and he's a nice guy. He's a cool, outgoing, friendly guy. Taking care of his family and everything. But this is one thing she didn't expect to for to come into the household, especially come into their marriage. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that I noticed about the storyline was it was truly authentic. It wasn't like a guy who,
Mhm.
they didn't get too into the background story, but there was some background in it. But it was just your everyday guy who
Mhm.
worked hard and wanted to make life good, and he was had friends and he watched football. He missed out on church. He had a good relationship with his mom.
Mhm.
It's
Uh-huh.
like, this could be literally anybody. So you
Mhm.
mentioned the actors.
Hmm.
I will butcher her name forever and a day. My tongue is not that heavy. Ashley Forrester.
Ashley Forestier.
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 Creole Queen. She's also
Cre-
known as Creole Queen.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Ashley is freaking dope. I watch her on the
Mhm.
Country Wayne. Uh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness! And I was
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
when she first showed up, I was like, "Ah, it's Ashley! I know this."
Mhm. Mhm.
I was like, "Look, look, we done made it."
Mhm.
And let me tell
Yeah.
you, eBlack, you saw the film, they was
Yeah,
phenomenal, and
Mhm.
just like the
I
rest
saw
of
the
the
film. I saw the
yeah,
Catwoman suit.
yes, we're gonna jump into that, but just want to give a
Mhm.
shout out to the Andre Lamar, um, oh my God, Daniel LaRouche, Louis Sanchez Jr., Gabriel
Hmm.
Days, oh my God,
Miles.
Miles Cleveland,
Mhm.
good Lord, Cheryl Frazier. Am I
Yes.
missing anybody, Boo? Am I
Those were
forgetting?
the lead
Maurice.
Those were
characters.
the leads.
Yeah. And
They
Maurice
they
played, yeah, the
yeah,
lead.
Maurice was the lead, yes, and they did phenomenal. And we can't. They really told the story, and we especially the lead because
Mhm.
Yeah,
that was because the story is loosely based off of my life. So
yeah,
he really portrayed it well. So happy and proud of him, as well as all the actors.
yeah. That was the one thing where it's one thing to have your goal or to have a movie out or want to have a movie out, but then there's another thing to get great acting behind that with characters that are so relatable and really good at what they do. So that was the one thing that I was like, man, God, I could not even imagine anybody else doing this. So,
Yeah,
I really saw the passion in Ashley, especially in the beginning, especially where there's scenes where she would be feeling doubtful and insecure. Uh, and then even Maurice, he was he he would bring out the switch.
yes,
Yeah, I'm stern, I'm stoic, but then I'm gonna
Mhm.
look here. Oh, let me
yeah,
I'm hiding something. So there
yeah.
was little things that, like I said, I watched it knowing a little bit of the backstory. You guys didn't give us a lot of, I knew what the movie was in general about, but then and I knew a little bit of the story, and there were certain things that I remember, like you guys said, you wrote a poem, and when he
Mhm.
said, "Do you remember that poem that you wrote me, or you wrote your wife?" and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay, I remember that." So I
Yes.
Mhm.
remember there were things like that to where I was like, okay, and then
Hmm.
so we'll get into that.
Okay.
But the first thing I realized when I was looking at this movie, I don't know how much you had involved in terms of the score, but a lot of jazz.
I'm a Spike Lee fan. Okay, from New York. All right, loved his movies right out the gate. Ever since of She's Gotta Have It. Um, what does it do? The Right Thing, School Days. When I watched Mo Better Blues, all right, with Denzel and Wesley and the whole entire cast, that movie. When I left the theaters, a voice inside me said, "You could do this." Okay, you could do this as well. That was in 1990. But getting back to the film, I just love the jazz composition. I just love the way Spike um used the music to move the story in
Yeah,
a jazz format. So I wanted to do that with this one here, and I give credit to Aaron Parrish. Aaron Parrish, he's a musician himself. We worked at well, before I resigned from the job, we worked at the same steel company here in Charlotte, Gerdau Steel Company. And I knew he was a musician. We talked, and we talked about the film prior to the film being made. And once I said, "Would you like to score this film?" He said, "Yeah." And so we sat down we bounced ideas off each other. And I said I wanted to be kind of jazzy, and so he gave me the music that I wanted. So I'm thankful for that.
yeah. So the movie really did start off with jazz. I was one of the first things that I did, and then there were certain moments in which jazz will become a constant back
Yes.
drop to the movie. So so that's that's cut the crap. Let's talk about the opening scene. And we're not going to give you the whole we're not going to give you the whole story, but I'm telling you guys, about 4 minutes into this video, you're gonna see a lot. But there's a cat woman in the video, and this her Kadena and her
Mhm.
insecurities. Uh,
Mhm.
I really there's two parts that I noticed. I noticed that hey, I'm coming home early, and not only that, I'm coming home early to spice things up. Not only
Mhm.
that, I'm noticing, even after all that was done late at night, he was taking off his ring. So kind of let's talk about that. That was there any metaphors? Or am I just thinking too deeply into this stuff?
No, I'm thankful. Thank you for noticing all the subtle moments in the film.
Mhm.
Like the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you want to touch on it now, but later on the clocks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it was every nuances that I'm glad was in the film. Okay, because it was telling my story. Okay, or how in my dark space in that addiction, the routine I had,
yes,
okay, prior to diving deep into that addiction. That was a methodical routine I had that
hmm
I unconsciously brought into this relationship when I
hmm
met
Mhm.
Pam. But when I met Pam, all that stopped for a while. It stopped because I met my future wife, my love of my life, you know what I'm saying, my life partner. But it wasn't until we moved, we got married, had children, and moved down here to Charlotte, got our first house, and then the computer came into the house,
yes,
and after that, it was like, whew.
yeah. There was a saying that was in there. Uh, I noticed it was like an idle minds or a devil's playground.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now I don't know if this, like I said, I don't. I know that sometimes you have to hand it off to the actors, but and maybe they may be freestyling. Was that a planned part of the script?
I wrote that in the script, and I
Okay.
made sure he said that. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
because let's take this all the way back to me growing up. I was, adopted. My mother gave me up at the age of 6. My biological mother gave me up at the age of 6. So I stayed in the foster guardian's house. All this is in Brooklyn, New York. At the age of 6 to probably like 13, then I moved in with the McNeils, and they adopted me. But during that time, I already developed some type of insecurity because I came from, my mom's, couldn't raise. She was unable to raise me, and so I had a complex, about myself right out the gate. All right, didn't know the rest of my family, didn't know who my father was. Wasn't raised by my biological. I'm raised by, a foster guardian, then now adopted. So growing up, I was very insecure and didn't really have
Mhm.
a plan for my life. So when you don't have a plan for your life, the world is going to give you all kinds of stuff. It's going to throw all kinds of worldly stuff at you, And it wasn't liquor, it wasn't alcohol, it wasn't drugs, it wasn't this and that. But for me, it was that porn addiction that little seed started probably like around 17 or 18, and it
Mhm.
slowly developed over time. And when you just say an idle mind is a devil playground, but you have no plan for your life, life is going to have a plan for you, and you probably not going to even see it coming, and then you go wind up like, wow, I'm over here. Why am I over here? Why? Because of
Mm-hmm.
that seed was planted, and I was just going from job to job doing
Mm-hmm.
menial work. But I
Yeah.
didn't know I didn't know I wanted to be a writer. I didn't know I didn't have all that. I enjoy watching movies, but yeah, that's where it all stemmed from my childhood.
And if I
So,
can
go ahead, Pam.
Go
I'm
ahead.
and
sorry.
if I can add to it with him, when we moved to Charlotte, there again was the opportunity for the idle mind because he was born and bred in New York, loved Brooklyn. We had these 3 kids, and it was like I suggested we need to go to the South where my family is to help us raise these kids and be close to family. He got down here in an unknown place with, left all his friends and everything he knew in New York. So again, it was being without a job for a while too with the transfer because I got the job first with the school system. And so again, all of that contributed to that addiction creeping back into his life.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Pam.
Okay. Yeah, so
Mhm.
I can see how that translates in the movie because he,
Mhm.
like you say, he's just there, and yeah, he has a support system, but you could tell that he just has a lot of free time. There's something else that I noticed that I'm gonna wait to the end, but something
Yeah.
else I noticed about that because every time he was, now I'll just say, every time he was on the computer, he would close the door.
Yes.
But at
Yes.
the end of the movie, the door
You
was
notice
open.
that. You
Yes,
notice that. You notice that.
yes,
Mm, very
that was
observant.
yeah,
I
that was
re-
one of those things where like I said, I'm a little smart. I try, I try, but
hey,
there was little things that I noticed that were meaningful. That little points because like we talked about the doors, but then like you said earlier, the clocks.
yes.
Mhm.
Well, let me get back.
Like
Let me get back to that door. I remember when we premiered it in Charlotte, then Atlanta. I think it was the Atlanta premiere. At that scene, right when he
hmm
went into the computer room and left the door open. I remember somebody in the audience said he pushed that door wide open, and everybody just fell out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
Mhm.
early in the movie, he kept that sucker closed.
yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes,
I trust me. I that was one of the major. Like it was, the room was brighter. I trust me. I
yes. You
Yes.
notice. You notice. Yes,
Yes.
yes. So I get that. So let's talk about the clocks because the clocks are, without giving too much about the movie, the clocks are a reoccurring theme, and I want to know. because there was music behind the clocks too, and there was stuff going on. But what was the meaning, or could you give us a meaning of the recurring theme of clocks?
The clocks in my head was okay. I in my mind, I'm like, okay, my wife is going to be leaving to go to work soon.
Hmm.
Especially if I, it was some jobs that I would work night. I would work irregular shifts, not a regular 9 to 5. I either work nights or you know what I'm saying, some part of the nights, or I'm off during the week and working the weekends. So I will always okay. She's going to be leaving soon, and I either have the day to myself, like James did in the movie, or okay, she'll be coming back home from work around such and such time, so I better get this out the way before she come home. So the constant, the time you see him looking at that clock is like, okay, I have X amount of time to get this done and out the way before my wife come home. Okay. But then it gets to a point where you lose track of time, or
Yeah.
your wife or your partner come home a little earlier than you thought. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because
Mhm.
everybody's out the house. The kids are at school. My wife, she's a teacher. She's at school. So I'm like, yeah, in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's
And it
where the clocks came in. Go ahead, babe.
And it has to be done in a good amount of time so that he can be refreshed mentally.
Yes.
Because
Thank
what I
you.
learned
Yes.
about the addiction is once he done it, he felt horrible and it would just sink him into a deep low. And so he had to have that time to get that done,
Hmm.
let the demon control him for a while
That
and
is so
then
true.
resurface as that lovable, sweet husband and dad that we love and respect and adore.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, because there was a scene where one of his friends had it gave him some exciting news, and then he went upstairs, and you
Mm-hmm.
can see him press his fingers up against his head in stress.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you Maurice had all the nuances, he really did. And you see his eyeballs, he already got big eyes. So when
Hmm.
he started expanding them bad boys, that just said it told the story of where his mind was at.
Yeah.
So all those little
because
subtle
even in
things.
good because even in good news, it's one of those weird things where in any addiction,
Mm-hmm.
you're on a high, you're feeling good, but then you realizing that you have to return to your addiction to complete a task.
Yes. And
And
not
that
to
was that
not
was
to
one of those things that I noticed in terms of what he was talking about. So I like I said, I, go watch the movie.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Go watch the movie
Mm-hmm.
Time
because
time
there's
was of
lots
the
of
essence. Time
hmm
was of the essence. All right. And he was always irritable when somebody comes and takes some of his time away from his activities. So like you said, you got to go and watch the movie to yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So then uh there I want you kind of to explain to me the meaning of the graveyard
Okay.
without going into detail, but just the meaning of the graveyard and the relationship with the to the film. So
All right, the graveyard scene is once the scene where they have that talk, him and his wife. James have that talk with Kadena, but they're mourning one of their friends that used to work at the post office. Now that storyline ties in with this book I wrote called Postal. All
okay,
right. Yes, and that's where that character derived from. All right. And obviously she passed away and Kadena was mourning her, just going to her graveyard just to, put flowers on her grave. So that's where that storyline comes from. All right. And we can't wait to go back and film that project, which is going to be a mini series. All right.
oh
All that whole postal storyline, because he works in the post office. James works in the post office.
yes,
All that is in Postal, the book, which we converted into a miniseries. And when God blesses us financially, that's why we market and urge now, so we can get all that money back and then some. So we could really tap into doing postal, so we could talk about that person and and then you could get it, you get to see how James and Kadena got together in the first place. All right, all that
Right.
involved the post office.
So, like he said, that lady in that gravesite, this postal series is the prequel to Urge. So it would be one of those where you say, oh, now, they made this after that story. So now we got to watch the postal series to learn all about when Cadena and James first met each other,
Yeah,
yeah, how their relationship, all the crew at the post office, interact with each other and develop such a tight bond. So, yeah, we're excited about that.
I'm
yeah,
excited because if you guys need anybody, maybe a tall, dark, and handsome
we got
stand
you.
in,
We
Yes,
got you.
I might not be doing my karate flips, but if
Hey,
I can
hey, we
roll
got
over a
you.
car.
Hey, we got you. And
we
probably
got you.
we go in it. We're gonna need a podcaster.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, and I'm just gonna let it just sit right there. So
All right.
yeah,
Well,
postal
I
postal
will.
gonna be a mini series.
I'm not one of those to not shoot my shot. I will shoot. Okay.
I hear you.
Shoot it,
Close,
shoot it.
closed mouths don't get fed, as they say.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
Because I noticed that, like you guys said, this was based off Postal, and when and I'm trying not to be too give away too much, but when the main character James was in a certain state, he said he went back to a flashback of him working in the post office, and he said that he met somebody. He was not ready to walk in his truth like that woman was ready to walk in hers. Now, I wanted to know if that was a real story.
That was
Wow.
a real story. Okay, let me just paint the picture. All right, I worked in New York, New York City, in Manhattan. All right, there was this lingerie store called Patricia Fields. All right, they sold a lot of costumes and lingerie to a lot of high profile clients. And one of those clients was, remember Sex in the City, that series Sex in the City on
Yes.
HBO? A lot of their costumes came from Patricia Fields. So they was very, how say it, high profile store, all right? That I used to deliver mail to. Okay. So I'm going now, mind you, I watched a whole lot of porn, so I know a whole lot of porn actors and actresses. All right. So as I was walking towards the store to deliver mail, these two ladies came out. And one of them was this lady that I knew from one of the porn movies. I saw her, and I did a double take. Like, oh my God, that's her. And she looked at me and smiled. But then I just walked past her as if I didn't know her. And that kind of
Wow.
pissed me off. That kind of that right there pissed me off. I could have said hi, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of like act like I didn't know her, even though I've seen all damn near all her movies.
Yeah.
That 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 really really pissed me off about myself. That I couldn't
And what
acknowledge.
what
Now
makes you mad? What was it that makes you mad? Was it the fact that, well, I guess like he said, you're while this other person is doing freely, openly what they're doing, you're forced to suppress a lot of the emotions and stuff that you got.
if that would have been Halle Berry, it would have been a different story. I'm just giving you Nia Long, okay? Whoever. But since I saw her, I was in denial of what I was doing. She
Yeah.
was she was already comfortable in her own skin doing what she's doing. And she was proud of it. All right. But here I go judging her right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? For something that I'm doing behind closed doors in my own house. That's why I had to put that in that film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because I had to take a look at myself. Like, who are you? You know. So yeah, I had to get that in there. I had to put that in there.
Yeah, I mean it. Like I said, it's one of those things to where I caught little stuff, and you don't realize a lot. Like it's a movie with a message. Let's be honest with you, but it's not a movie with a message. It has a lot of funniness to it, and it reads right. It kind of blends right on into a lot of the things. And there was a point to where James even kind of had to have to talk with himself, I should say, about how the urge senses changes and will prevent any potential in you. See,
You
the
know,
movie has a lot of stuff in there, and I'm trying.
thank
Look, if I'm speaking like I don't know what I'm talking about, just understand I'm trying to make you guys go
you.
watch this movie.
Yeah, you hitting it on the head. You
Yes,
know,
you are.
a lot of people. We got a lot of great reviews. We got a lot of great reviews from the film. People really got the message and then some. Okay. Getting back to he had to talk with himself. I had to do a, I you know the hardest person to look in the eye is yourself in the mirror,
Hmm.
because the person in the mirror knows exactly who you are. You cannot fake the funk. You cannot hide. You cannot lie. And I had to do a lot of looking in that mirror, like, wow, this is who you are. You go to church acting like you such and such, but you come home and do all this to do, like, yeah, I'm a good guy and all that. But am I living up to my or God's expectations? Especially when I prayed for this lady right here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Now that I have her, but I still brought this, baggage to the relationship. And I had to take a real hard look at myself. You know what I'm saying? And once I realized, I said, you know what? I gotta put an end to this, man. I gotta put an end to this. And once I said that, that's when that urge was like, nope, You see
yeah.
that urge is gonna lie dormant. As long as you on cruise control with it, it don't have to do anything. But once you start battling it, like, I'm gonna fight this with everything I got because I want to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm stuck being right here. I need to be where God expects me to be. I gotta let all this go. And that's gonna wake up, that lower self, that urge, that devil, whatever you want to call it. And say, no, I'm not through with you. Where you going?
Hmm.
I had to fight that.
Mm.
I had to fight, but I was ready for the fight. Let me
And
just say I was ready.
you know what was interesting, eBlack? I don't know if you remember, he said that while he was in the midst of it, something within him said, "You're gonna write about this."
Yes.
Did you remember him sharing that?
Is that the first interview, Boo?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember
Really?
that, E Black?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said while he was in the midst of the addiction, something said, maybe God or
Oh,
whatever,
yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
you
yes.
were right about this. And so thus we have the movie Urge.
Yeah,
When
yes,
when
yes.
when I
Yeah.
was when I was in the middle of, I was still doing postal, writing postal, whatever, and I was doing that plus the addiction, and I was at a point where I knew I was at the first stage of being sick and tired of it, and something in me, I guess God said, "You got to write about this." And sure enough, I
Mhm.
started outlining it while I was finishing up Postal, the book.
Mm.
And here we are. Here we are. I
Now,
thought
I'm
I
I noticed
sorry.
that they switched church. Is that true,
Um,
or is there a meaning to that?
no, honestly, it's not a meaning to it. And he just wanted to, I guess.
I
Who's?
think
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
subconsciously it is a meaning to it because when we moved down here, I go to my Southern old church with my all older members, and I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
my husband is like, that is not fulfilling me coming out of Brooklyn, New York. And so remember, his friend said he's gonna join my church, where it's more of his people are there. So I think
That's
that
true.
is the meaning. Yes.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Because,
It is.
our church is, it- just say I'm committed to my family. And so, but like I can understand my husband not always getting fed there. So that does have
Yeah.
some significance. So,
Yeah, he
yes,
said he was
that's a
nodding
good
off.
question.
He was nodding off at the service.
Yes.
Even the daughter said, "Oh God, y'all really got behind."
eBlack, you caught everything.
You caught everything.
I
Thank
You
you.
caught
caught
everything.
so
Awesome.
Trust me,
much.
I
Awesome.
You
told
haven't
myself I was
shared
gonna sit down. I was
everything,
gonna watch this movie.
Thank
you
you.
caught a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
So
caught a lot. We
Yes, we did.
appreciate it.
We really
and
do.
and and even and one thing I also caught was say my name, say your name.
Yes.
What was the meaning? Why is it important for somebody with an issue to say their own name?
I was at a point, again, this was the late 2000s, probably 2008, 2009, when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of this whole thing. All right. You know how when you have the computer,
You're breaking up.
We can't hear you. I can kind of take over while he's getting it together. So, the thing, with an addiction. Can you hear me, Boo?
We can hear you.
I can.
I can hear Pam, but I can't hear Peter.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost like your earphones got shut. It's something shorted out.
Yeah. So what you were asking about the
Save my name.
say my name is when someone has an addiction, they have to own it completely. And because when you're in denial, that's evidence that it's still in control.
Hmm.
And so his saying his name, my name is this, and I have this addiction, is saying if you acknowledge it and own it, you're no longer giving it that power and strength over you because that shame is what it wants you to feel. You know what I'm saying? And be in
Yeah.
denial and feel ashamed. But if you just say, embrace, this is who I am, and I have this issue, and I'm going to deal with it, it's like it weakens the addiction. So,
Yeah, I caught that too. I'm
yes.
no, Peter, enter in and come back in. Go out and come
Mhm.
back in.
Yes.
But yeah, I caught that. That was one of those things that I caught, and it was surprise. It was one of those things, like I said, that it's a movie with a message.
Yes,
It's a
it
movie
is.
with a message, and when you have the message that it was bringing, it wasn't too in front of you. It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna bombard you with a whole bunch of knowledge and scenes and this and that. But
Hmm.
there was a lot that, like I said, I noticed about it. I noticed that there was a couple of words. It was almost like it was breaking down the different stages. Could you kind of break down the stages a little bit, or the purposes of the stages?
Ooh, very quickly, I know there was a stage of denial. That's
Yes,
always the first stage of an addiction is denial. Because again, this was Peter's
deceived. Hip.
deceived. So that's when he started delving into the root cause of the addiction. So it was like when he started doing that, taking an introspective look at himself, what really contributed to this? So there was an incident in his life where he was deceived, and I know you know what that deception was
Hmm.
involving young ladies. Then okay, after deceived was, can you hear us, Mr. McNeil? Okay, so we still can't hear you, but eBlack was having me to go into those stages of the before you got to the breakthrough. Can you hear us? Okay. Yep, I was telling him it was denial, it was deceived, and then oh my goodness, I
Hypocrite.
got hypocrite, feeling hypocritical because again, because Peter is a naturally good person with a beautiful
Mhm.
heart, that disease allowing him to judge someone else or try to make him hide the fact that he was going through something himself, and want to put off his shame on that star of the porn movies. So that was being the hypocrite. And again, when you are not operating in a God spirit and what you're doing, the addiction is controlling you. It's kind of eating away at you and eating away at your soul. So that's what he was kind of explaining, that
Mhm.
he was being a hypocrite and that he didn't have peace about it. So you know what? Instead of go drink liquor about how bad I'm feeling, I'm gonna go watch, delve into this porn.
Yeah, and he constantly was saying that that's all I do. That's all I do.
Right,
That's
right.
not that much. So and like I said, I really want people to really go check out the movie. That saw without giving too much of the movie. There was also special characters in there that I'm not even gonna touch. Well, not going. I'm not going to bring up. No, no.
Yeah.
So it looks like he
So
got it's something with you. There we go. Green Vegan said she gonna get the urge movie. You guys have this is
thank
she's
you
such
so much. Thank you. You
so
will
I'm gonna give so
enjoy it.
I'm actually Green. I have her email. I'm actually gonna give her a certificate for this movie. So hopefully she can watch this
Awesome.
movie. So I'm just gonna
Thank you
give it to
so
her
much.
because I know her.
Okay,
Um,
that is awesome. And we appreciate you and we welcome feedback. So thank you so much if you follow Peter. And I'm going to go near him so that he can possibly get on this computer or get these earphones. That would be great. Okay.
yeah,
And I know that we're coming to
we'll
the
tag
end of the.
one in and we'll
Okay.
tag one in. But let's see, what else do I have?
No. Okay. All
I
right. So
have
did you pretty much finished with your questions or you got one more, E?
no, I do have one more. I have
Yes,
no,
sweetie.
actually, I think
Understand.
Okay, let's just let it smooth. Okay.
yeah, we were just talking. I think the last question or the question that we talked about was more
I don't know.
in regard
I don't know.
in regards. Here, this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. I will
Okay.
I will remove this one, and then we'll go back to like the first interview, okay? But we were talking about the breakdowns of the the denial, deceived, hypocrite, breakthrough, and homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So was there any particular reason why we had that breakdown, or was it kind of planned? Was it
Okay, we had denial. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when the opening of the film, you saw the opening of the film, right?
yes,
And you saw exactly what was happening taking place. He was already at that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired stage.
yeah,
All right. He wasn't in that cruise control stage. He was already ready. He didn't know it yet, but he was ready um to start the process of breaking away from that. All right. So you had denial. What I had? Denial. What else?
deceived,
Deceived.
Deceived. Yeah.
hypocrite,
Hypocrite. Yeah. The hypocrite
breakthrough.
was, yeah, the deceived. Oh, the deceived. okay, when I was in that headspace, now, even though I was into porn, okay, and this is something me and my wife always kind of talked about. Is there a difference between a porn addiction and a sex addiction? Are they both the same? And lady, I thought about that, and I said it may not be the same because I was addicted to porn, but I wasn't running the streets.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't. I may have been cheating with my wife with the virtual, with computer, but I wasn't out there looking for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing
Yeah.
any of that. Okay, so let's okay. I'm saying all that to say prior to me meeting my wife, I was out there, doing this that. This is in the early '90s, and dealing with a couple of ladies, and they kind of put me in a position where I said, you know what, bunk this, because I don't want to tell too much about that because I want people
Mm-hmm.
to see it. I said, you know what, I'm not going to even deal with this. I'd rather, porn instead of dealing with, ladies. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
you were
saying?
in a depression.
I was in a big time depression. Didn't
Mm.
even know it, but I was. All right. And I said, you know what? I'll have this to fall back on. That was my supposedly safety net from everybody, the world.
Mhm.
And I just lived in that world until I met her. Okay. And so that was the deceived part. And then the hypocrite that comes with the lady, the porn actress.
Mm-hmm.
I was being a big hypocrite. And then the breakthrough, I want people to check it out. All right. I don't
Yeah.
want to get too much. Yes.
So, and this will be the final question. But could you talk about the burning of the urge?
Okay. First of all, I want to thank my beautiful wife for holding it down while
Yeah.
I was having technical, difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but that was saying goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
That was saying goodbye. You're done. Okay. You done burnt me. Now I'm burning you.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. There's no long explanation. It was time to move forward.
Yeah.
And eBlack. And when I did, it was like weights just lifted off my shoulder, and I was excited about Postal. I was ready to get my life on track. You know what I'm saying? I'm a self-published author. I got this going for me. I got that going for me. It's like I wanted to make up for lost time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it wasn't cold turkey. It kind of like it went away slowly. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and then it just went. It just gone. Because I was like, I was ready. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. And then you got to be ready to battle when it doesn't want to let you go.
Yeah. I look. There's I I was gonna clip some videos and I was gonna do this. I was like, nah, nah, no, 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 no. So you guys gonna have to see this movie. I really think it was one of those educational movies. Like I said, it's a romance. There's drama in there. It's
Mhm.
actually funny. I love the characters that were in there. I actually love the dialogue between the two
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
friends and the contract. And even the failed attempt at lying to there was
let me
lots of it. Like I
let
said,
me
it's a movie with a message, but it's really not. The message is not necessarily in your face, hitting you over the head constantly.
exactly.
E Black.
Exactly.
This was such a sensitive tab. I had to have some light other story plots to kind of balance it out. So it was dark, and that's where the friends came along.
Mm.
Saying Freeman with his who you just mentioned, Lou and Emmanuel, their drama themselves. I had to, bring other elements just to kind of balance it and lighten it up with, like you said, elements of comedy, suspense, sci-fi, all of
Hmm.
that. Okay, because not only am I a big Spike Lee fan, I love Stephen King. I love, horror flicks, you know what I'm saying? Sci-fi, Twilight Zone. all of that. I try to mix all those elements, put them all together to give you that what you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So and one of those things, one of those things, like I said, I really think the cast really brought out the message. You had a really dynamic cast. Uh, I I also believe, like I said, the pace of the film was really good. It hit you right over the head in the beginning. Um, so and I'm not just saying that, but like I said, this was one of those good movies that you can watch. Don't watch with the kid. Well, you might want to watch, but no, don't watch with the kid.
Yeah, no. Even
So
though there's
it's
no
what
nudity or none of that, it's still a sensitive adult,
it's an
Topic.
adult.
topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nothing
it's
explicit
nothing
on the
explicit,
screen or anything, but it's still an adult
but you
topic.
know exactly what this film was about, and I wanted to be in your face because I remember when we had these premieres and it came on, I could just hear silence,
Hmm.
because people expect. Yeah, they didn't know what to expect. All right. But once they saw it and after they saw it, they was like, wow, wow. A lot of people, a lot of guys were saying that was me up there. You told
You're breaking up a little bit.
hello.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we was in and out. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Yes.
Okay, hold on. Well, let me see. Polo says, "Where can I? Can y'all explain where the movie is at right now?"
Go ahead, sweetie.
It's on Prime Video, Amazon Prime.
And it's called Urge.
Okay, and then they're saying, "When can I expect the next one?"
Our next one is a project that is a documentary that we got gifted with from God. So that one will be next, and we'll
Yes.
keep you guys updated, informed about that. But the postal series, we'll let you know our aim for postal is
Late
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 this
this
year,
year or probably next year.
early next year.
Yes, because that's going to be a huge one, and we want to make sure we have the we are financially ready to tackle it.
Look,
Okay,
I
we're
work for
financially
free.
ready.
I'm telling you right now, I work for
Well,
free.
come on,
I
come
know
on.
that's right.
Yeah, so yeah, we want to definitely do it right. We can't go backwards.
And
Yeah.
we appreciate that you enjoyed our movie, the writing and the quality and the presentation of it enough to say, "Hey, I
Yes,
would like to be in your next project." That's a compliment.
it really
Thank
is. It really is. So our document is next, and we're so excited about that. We're gonna be filming that real soon in April.
you for
Yeah,
the documentary.
April, May, April, May. But then we're gonna be getting close to down the pipeline.
So everybody who's in the chat right now, if you email eblacktv@gmail.com. Now, Amazon does not have a system of gifting movies, but if I will send you a gift card to cover the cost of the movie.
Aww.
Oh,
But if you guys will, I just want you guys to go see the movie, okay? So if you guys email me your information, I will send you guys the I will send you guys a gift card. The first 5 people or the first 4 people, because I already know Green Vegan had already done it. So if you guys email the information to eblacktv@gmail.com, I will send you guys a uh, a gift card to Amazon. I'm just hoping that you guys will spend the gift card on the movie. It is really, really, really a great movie.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
We
It might not be
It
in HD. It
certainly is.
might be in a lower quality version. I'm not joking. No, no, no. But but yeah, man. We I try to take care of my people, and it was already planned. So like I said, please hit my email, guys. Are you guys still here? The first 4 people, okay?
All right. Well, we got a storm coming on this side, so I
Yes.
think it's impacting our service. So we appreciate you so much.
So much. We do.
And God bless you.
And if you want to follow me, my name is on Instagram. I'm Peter McNeil 44. Again, on Peter McNeil 44, and on Facebook, I'm just Peter McNeil. Tell your handles.
As long as they follow, good.
Oh, well, I said they just follow me.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. He put it up.
Awesome. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so check it out. I appreciate y'all for coming back, and like I
We
said,
appreciate you.
y'all keep acting like y'all doing me a favor. No, stop,
No,
y'all.
Well, you're helping us about our
I'm doing
movies,
y'all.
so
really
of
are.
course
No.
we appreciate you.
yes,
Yeah.
we are really appreciate that for real. Okay,
Ugh,
trust me, you got a part. You ain't got to audition or nothing.
okay. See, you know, what I mean? That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about.
Yes,
Let's wrap it
yes.
up here.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank you
right,
so
y'all.
much for
Y'all
your
take
time,
care.
sir.
Y'all
All
stick backstage, and
all right.
I'm gonna outro my people, okay? But stay
Okay.
All
backstage
right.
just for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
All right, everybody. Once again, great topic, great show. Um, I want you guys really to check out this movie. I've already gotten one. Yes, I gotten one. So there's three movie passes that I or certificates that I will send to you directly. If you email eblacktv at gmail, I will send you the money to cover the cost of the movie. I hope you guys will use that money to buy this movie. This is an independent black film. These are black couples. This is black unity. I don't understand why we should have to bang down the doors to really get this some attention. But anyway, please do that. I really appreciate. Yes, I seen that. So I really appreciate everyone. I hope you guys like do the subscribe stuff, and I'll holler at y'all. Bye.